What is up, sports fans? My name is Khalil Zephyr, and this is KEZGotGame. On this podcast, we're going to have a variety of different guests coming in here. We'll be diving into basketball and football from big games to everyday sports talk. So today, I have family coming in. I got my dad, Gene, my Uncle Mo, and my Uncle Mikey. And right, our first topic is going to be the Super Bowl and how that went. What are your thoughts, Mo?
Uh, what's going on, everybody? And yeah, I mean, Seattle was just too much for that O line. They had a rookie that was getting abused, so I didn't expect it to go that route because New England's defense was second in scoring to Seattle's number one, but that O line just didn't hold up for Drake May.
No, I mean, I agree. As a Pats fan, I was super disappointed. Disappointed in the O-line, like you brought up. I'm questioning whether Will Campbell's the future. I mean, I know Khalil believes in him. I'm questioning it. I've been questioning it, but I question it more after the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm hearing now a lot of injuries coming up. I'm hearing he was injured. I'm hearing Drake May was injured. They're saying like Patriots didn't handle it, but I don't subscribe to that. They played the game. It was a loss. You know what I mean? I'm super disappointed. That was Drake May's actually worst game that I saw him play, period. He looked like he didn't belong to me in that game. You know what I mean? Not to say when he had an MVP season, you know what I mean? But that game, how he looked, I didn't like it. Left a bad taste in my mouth. And for Vrabel and McDaniel with 2 weeks, it was horrible. I was super disappointed. And yeah, I know we were playing with house money, so I am hopeful for the future. But yeah, I was disappointed.
Yeah, I blame that game on a lot of different factors. One, for you to have 2 weeks to prepare and come out with that game plan, I'm not entirely sure what the game plan was, but I definitely feel like they should have had a better way to deal with Seattle's pass rush, like coming with some jumbo formations, which I didn't see once, and we also should have had a few short routes to get May comfortable. Didn't see a lot of that. We abandoned the run, which was the only thing working for us early in the game. Really don't know why we did that either. But also, May, while he didn't play well, you can I don't really expect much more of him, considering he's 23, no blocking, and not a great receiving core. So that's my take.
My biggest thing, I just wanted to be a competitive game, and I feel like it wasn't competitive. I mean, Drake may look like a deer in headlights out there. It was just bad. I mean, Will Campbell, when he got drafted, one thing he said was he was ready to die for him.
No, he was very much alive.
He died. Now, he died out there. He died. But he didn't put up a fight at all. So, yeah, honestly, as a Patriots fan, it was just disappointing to not see a competitive game. The fact that it was such a low-scoring game at half, I still had some hope. But that faded fast when second half started. Honestly, I feel like the big stage just got to Drake.
I think so. I don't know if it's necessarily the big stage, but I think we saw kind of like it trending that way in the playoffs. He played actually like, with the exception of the Chargers. Chargers did decent in like the first half, and then Patriots blew them out. But then, the Texans, and I know the weather conditions in Denver, but those were legit defenses, and May didn't look good.
So he had the fumbles in the Texans game, but he still threw the ball well. He had some good passes in the time, but definitely he
had a lot of help too with C.J. Stroud giving the ball back 5 times.
Yeah. But I'm talking about as far as throwing the ball. Like I didn't feel like he looked like to me. I said it like when we spoke last week. I said that the Texans defense was the toughest I was expecting. I was like, damn. But I feel like he looked more comfortable playing the Texans than he did playing Seattle. So definitely the
Yeah,
stage.
absolutely.
I can agree with Mike as far as the stage. It had to. I feel like either he underestimated it, or
I
it
think-
just was too much
I
at that
mean,
time. You know what I
I-
mean? Or maybe if the injury played a part in it. But again, I don't like the
Yeah,
excuses.
Now you had
I-
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
When did you get hurt?
Yeah,
Right.
supposedly in the Denver game. Supposedly.
Yeah, and then you had 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Also, how many teams are really 100%
No way.
going into
No
the
one.
last
No,
in any
no,
sport?
no
you know what I
one.
mean?
No one. No one. Listen, I'm not throwing the injury card. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a loss.
I'll say this: looking towards the future, though, the bright light at the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel, I should say. My man Gonzo, played a hell of a game.
Agreed.
A hell of a game.
Yeah. Agreed.
That man is solidified. Like
Yes.
that was the one thing I did see, and that's why I felt like I still had hope, was the fact that our defense was still containing them in the first half. The fact that they couldn't score touchdowns.
I feel like the defense played well, but they was on the field way too much.
Yeah.
We
and
short like
Seattle was
three,
smart.
one.
They maximized the run. They knew it was working. They
Yeah.
tried to get Njigba. They tried to get Cooper Cup. They tried these little things, and they said, you know what? Let's just keep running it, and that kept the defense on longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It kept the offense cold
Yeah.
because they're just sitting there watching everything going down.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about Gonzo, he's definitely made the gap between him and PS2 enough so that there's a legit conversation about who is the best cornerback in the league. And another thing about our defense, while I do think they played well, they just couldn't stop Kenneth Walker, and that was the telltale of the game.
But I think honestly, that's the one thing we weren't expecting, right? Because we talked about as far as like our rush defense not allowing that to happen. So I think we were so focused on the receivers, like that's where we're expecting them to go that route. And then, like you said, just the wear and tear, they're just beating us down, continue to run the ball.
But also to that point, the offense not staying on the field, it made the defense tired, which allowed Kendall Walker to keep going. You know what I mean?
I thought the defense played well. I thought they came out well. I thought they came out aggressive. They were jumping routes. They almost. I thought they was gonna. I was waiting for a pick. I thought it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
everybody thought Darnold was
Because
gonna get
just the way they were playing super aggressive. I just feel I agree with Mo. Like I just feel like the lack of offense put the defense in behind. Like they were on the field too much. You're playing that game's longer. The Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? It just felt. I just felt like they were just too much pressure on them constantly. You guarding you know that offense is not about you. You're guarding you worrying about GSN. You're worried about Cooper Cup. Then it's a lot going on in that offense. You know what I mean? So they played well. That I don't feel like the offense moved like that. Other than like the fact that they ended up crumbling because again you're getting pushed. You're tired. You know what I'm saying on a constant basis. So again.
And at that
They-
point, it's just time of possession. Good time of possession. Like like you said, it was just the defense was just tired. Like there were multiple stops and so on and so forth. But when you're out there that long, when you see the offense continue to fail, it's just like again.
Demoralizing.
Yeah, for sure.
And not to just keep talking like it's just homers over here. Shout out to the Seahawks. They played a hell of a game. Shout out to Sam Darnold because he did a lot of things that I wish Drake May did. Because initially the defense was on him. I feel like they pressured him a lot. He just stood there and delivered. I feel like he stood there. He delivered when it was time to deliver on those certain passes. And shout out to him. Been all over the league. I'm one of the ones that thought he was done. I didn't respect him all year.
First one in his draft class.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
make it to the
I
bowl.
didn't respect. I until the
What about that?
even before the Super Bowl, the day before the minutes before the Super Bowl started, I still didn't respect Sam Darnold. All right, when they were singing the national anthem, I did not respect Sam Darnold, but I respect him now. Super Bowl champion, first one out of his draft class to do it. I got to give it to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I felt like JSN. I felt like Gonzo. I felt the defense held him down. Like, you know what I'm saying? He smothered him. I felt the passing game was smothered. Shout out to Kenneth Walker, the MVP. He did his thing. You know what I mean? They got us.
And one last point to that.
And the defense, shout out to them. That's the whole game.
Yeah.
They crumbled that O-line, and it was what it was.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of defenses screaming number one, Denver, Houston, that we went against. But
so many different schemes they brought
yeah,
to us.
their
It was just
their defense was just their defensive, maybe not the players, but their scheme and what they came with was just too much for those
way too
guys.
much.
So it was
One
what it
last point for this. We had that big touchdown to Matt Collins that kind of changed the momentum around. What I did not like is that we didn't like really even try to capitalize on that momentum. And I hate to put too much on Josh McDaniels, but that is something that you can't do. Transitioning, we're gonna be covering our way too early predictions for the divisions next year. And for the AFC East, I think the Patriots are gonna take the AFC East again. What do you guys think?
I don't know. It depends on what Buffalo does. Like, they got rid of their coach, but the offseason is going to be crucial for them because they need legit weapons. Also, Buffalo lost both their wide receivers coming into that Denver game. So, and they were still like close. They were still like right there, had a chance, right? So I think it depends on what they do for that offense, because Josh Allen's going to be Josh Allen, right? We're going to get what we expect out of him, but if he doesn't have another option or two that's better than what he had, because he's made the most of what he had. So if they can get somebody legit, and then he literally will have no more excuses at all. So I think, depending on what he does, I see you guys winning it again, unless they make a key piece, or add a key piece, because, again, you guys' defense is legit.
To that point, I think, first of all, firing Sean McDermott was a mistake, a huge mistake.
Agreed.
I think their coach is much worse. And I think that, not in terms of our record, because our schedule is going to be tougher, but I think the Patriots will come out of the offseason a better team, because free agents are going to want to come here. I believe we're going to make some trades. I believe the offensive line is going to be different. Hopefully. And outside of our rotational guys that have played really well on defense, I think we should get one or two big names, and one of which hopefully being Max Crosby. Big possibility.
I have the Bills winning the East next year. Just because I just feel like I looked at the schedules for both teams. I just feel like the Bills have a better chance to win the East. Schedule-wise. We'll be right there. Not to say that we can't win it. We'll be right there, but we have a really tough schedule next year. So based off, maybe just off like the records, I still have the Patriots in the playoffs next year. Saying that though, I still feel like if you put both those teams, like I feel like Patriots are free agents will want to come to Patriots more than will go to Buffalo right now. And don't get me wrong, people want to play with Josh Allen. You know what I mean? But people also want to play for Mike Vrabel.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So I look at both of those, and I look at if I'm a player right now, I just feel like that team is closer. Maybe not, realistically, but like I'm looking at, okay, I go over there. They were just in the Super Bowl, and they didn't even have that much. They're maybe a couple pieces away. You know what I mean? So I might want to go over there. So that's just how I feel about that. So I have the Bills with the Bills / Patriots, so A and B. But you know what I'm saying? I'm leaning towards the Bills based off schedule.
And I agree with that. I think it's gonna definitely be much tougher for us next year, schedule wise. I mean, this year was our year, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, we did capitalize. We made it to the game. We made it to the bowl, but I think it'll be much tougher. And not only that, I feel like this year a lot of teams slept on us. No one expected us to get to where we got to. So coming in it's gonna be way different. right? How teams even game plan for us. But I mean, depending on what adjustments are made, I mean, like I said, the draft, right? Anything is possible, but I'm hoping we come out on top out of these.
That being said, I think the Dolphins quite possibly have a chance to be the worst team in the league. Um, I say that because they're keeping Tua because of his contract. Yep, and they're only offensive mind because their head coach is defensive minded. I'm not familiar with their offensive coordinator. I'd have to look that up, but quite possibly their best offensive mind is their passing game coordinator, which is Kevin Petullo. They gave Kevin Petullo a job, so that's gonna be bad. The receivers, Tyreek, 99% chance he's not gonna be a Dolphin next year, and the offense is pretty much gonna be centered around Devon Achane and Jalen Waddle.
I think they just need to. It depends on what happens in the draft, right? But if they can find a suitable or at least decent QB in the draft, Tua's not going to have that job for long. By default, he has it because they decided to pay him. But with his concussion situation and everything, I think they kind of the loyalty aspect of things. It's a business, and unfortunately, he keeps getting concussions. Why would you invest in somebody who may not be available? The best ability is availability. And granted, this season he was semi-available, but one sack. He plays the Texans, and Compton gets to him or something like that. So I don't know. I think Tua's done, in my opinion. At least he's done for Miami.
I feel like Tua is one concussion away from CTE. Like I agree. Like, just the fact that they keep investing into it just doesn't make sense. So, hopefully, I mean, if they want to make any noise or do anything, they should be looking to draft a quarterback this year.
I'm gonna throw something out there. After what I saw this season, his stock is up, and I think someone should try to go get him. Mac Jones, because what he did in the absence of Purdy was admirable. And I didn't expect that off of what he did in New England. I was like, he might be done, but he definitely brought his stock back up. So if I'm a team, I'm definitely looking to see if he wants to come join us.
I agree. If not the Dolphins, I think some team should definitely pick up Mac Jones as a bridge quarterback or even a franchise quarterback if he's capable of being that guy.
All right, so basically we have Bills and Patriots pretty much 1 and 2. Miami would be 3, and then I mean Jets would be 3, and then obviously we're all in agreement that Miami is probably going to be the worst team.
Yeah. Moving on to the AFC North.
Moving on to the North.
I got the Ravens coming back and winning it.
I like that, but a part of me just feels, if healthy, Burrow and the Bengals can make some noise. But that's just it. It's the if healthy. So
it's not even just that. I think they can be healthy, but we saw last year what happened when they were healthy. Burrow could have won MVP. Jamar Chase was up there for Offensive Player of the Year. They all had their best seasons of their career. They went 9-8 because their defense was one of the worst of all time.
But Burrow missed some games too, though.
You did.
You know what I mean? So I think again, if we're playing Madden and we take off injuries, I think I like the Bengals. I do, but I understand why you went with the Ravens. But was it really the coach in Baltimore? So now we got to see, because they got rid of Harbaugh.
Yeah.
It may not have been the coach, but I think they do get a coach that they really needed. He's a defensive-minded coach, and their defense has been a big problem lately, not because of personnel, but because of their coaching.
But remember, 2 years in a row, it was the offense that let them down. Mark Andrews missed a 2-point conversion, and it was right in his breadbasket. Yeah. And then Zay Flowers fumble against the Chiefs. So, granted, like I know you say the defense needs something, it was the offense that let them down. And again, unfortunately, Lamar takes the heat for that. But how much better of a pass could he have made to Mark Andrews for him to make that catch to win the game? And Zay Flowers was running into the end zone and a fumble. So Lamar takes a lot of heat, but I still don't think it was Harbaugh. I know you're saying the defense, but the defense did what they needed to do enough. It was just those two offensive situations that kind of hurt them.
I think, I mean, I'm going with the Ravens as well. I mean, the same things you're saying as far as those offensive, you could say the same thing about the Bills. The Bills had a couple offensive like situations that put them in bad position. So that happens in games. I just feel like, but if you're asking me as far as just,
I think Buffalo's defense did let them down though, because remember the Tyreek Hill touchdown in like 11 seconds, like that should never happen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Baltimore, it was them having the opportunity to go up or to win. Like the Mark Andrews ones is probably the most egregious one because it was literally right there. You get paid millions to just catch the ball. You had nobody there. Like,
one thing I will say about that play, that 2-point conversion would have tied the game, and then the Bills get the ball back with a minute and some change left and 3 timeouts. So it wasn't game changing, but Mark Andrews definitely should have caught that ball, and we could be having a different conversation.
But yeah, I still have the Ravens. Like I said, I just feel like their team is better. And I like John Harbaugh, but I'm not I don't put him up there as like this top because I mean his specialty was special teams. He's a great people manager. He wasn't running the defense like that. He wasn't running the offense like that. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like I think putting somebody in there that has a more defensive prowess could help the team a little bit better. So I just based off the lack of defense of the Bengals in their injury history, and Pittsburgh just not having a quarterback,
we don't know yet.
Yeah, but even if they had one of these guys, it's like a Mac Jones or like a Willis. Like I'm still not buying them. I'm not sold. So I would need those guys would still need to prove it to me over the course of a year. You know what I mean? So because they were backups for a reason. I mean, not every story is Sam Darnold. You know what I'm saying? So there's some Geno Smiths out there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna say so. That's just how I feel like in reference to as far as the Ravens are concerned. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens for the NFC North, followed by the Bengals, then Pittsburgh, and then obviously the Nino Browns.
Well, you say obviously.
Full season Shador, you don't think he's about to do anything over there?
No.
You say obviously the Browns. I think the Bengals will be comfortably in second place, and I think the Steelers and Browns will be interchangeable, especially with them hiring Mike McCarthy for some reason. I think the Browns and Steelers will be around as equally as bad.
I think that division also is going to be won or lost by injuries as well, because
100%.
Lamar needs to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's true.
And Joe Burrow needs to stay healthy. Because if not, plug and play with Pittsburgh, clearly you see they won the division this year. So
yeah, that division is probably gonna go to the last game of the season, just like it always does. So it'll be the last game playing for the division.
Not for sure.
So moving on, got the AFC West, and this was pretty tough, but I think the Broncos are gonna go back to back.
I think if Mahomes is healthy, I don't know. I can't just count them out.
So
I can't count the Chiefs out with a healthy Patrick Mahomes.
If Mahomes comes back,
he's not going to be 100%.
Yeah, but I'm not going to doubt that he doesn't have to move a lot, but he's an accurate quarterback and he's a cerebral quarterback. So he doesn't have to do too much moving. I'm pretty sure they're protecting the Chiefs with Andy. I'm going with the Chiefs as well. I still don't believe in Bo Nix
at all.
I do believe in the defense. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I get it. He played a good game against Buffalo that last game, and I get it. A dead clock's right twice a day. But over the course of the season, I didn't see. I'm not. If you pull a boat, I'm just not sold. I'm not sold.
I don't know how you're not sold on Bo because his numbers are actually comparable to Drake May.
I get it, and sometimes
And they were the number 1 seed.
and I get it. Numbers don't lie, but sometimes my eyes, neither do my eyes, and I'm looking at it, and it's just not. I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's me personally, and I get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. They were number 1 seed. He went to playoffs both years. He's been the accolades is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to that point, I think this might be a hot take, but I do think tape matters more than stats because tape shows more context. You're seeing like the reads that the quarterback is making. You're seeing like the mannerisms. I do think tape matters more than stats because while stats don't lie, they don't always tell the whole truth.
But with that being said, that means that we can't put the stamp on Drake May because there was only a certain amount of games he played in 24. So now that he played a whole year, there's going to be more tape.
No, you can't.
Bo Nix played twice. Like this is his second year that he actually played, and he still did really well. So with the tape,
No, the verdict is still out on Drake May for me. I like Drake May. As far as right now is concerned, if you ask me, he's the quarterback of the future. But come next year, he still has to prove himself to us.
right. That's what I'm saying.
He has to prove himself to us because you need to bounce back that same season. I'm not saying MVP, but I'm saying I need to see it and be like, okay, I'm sold. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I mean. So I agree with you. Like we're not sold. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna. No, I'm gonna be fair. Like I'm not sold.
Back to the AFC West.
It's a two-team race. I think Chiefs win it, but Denver, that team is built, defensively, and then if Bo Nix is healthy, so
Yeah.
Let's say if Mahomes is healthy, which I don't think he'll start the year off, considering it was an Achilles. His offensive line, while it's mostly good, the offensive line is pretty strong. The right tackle commits a lot of penalties. Kelsey might retire, and if he doesn't, he's gonna be even worse than he was last year, most likely, because every year he's gotten worse for the most part.
But what's his worst though? It's still, his worst is still good.
Yeah.
You making it seem like he's just washed. Like
If it is good,
huh?
if it is good,
Yeah, it is good.
he could fall completely off.
But he hasn't.
but also it's his presence.
Yeah.
Teams still respect what he can do until he shows that he can't do it.
And to me, in a
And-
big game, he's still scary as hell. You
And
know what I'm saying? Like he just is.
Another
Like
thing with the Chiefs is you got to set up the run. I mean, you got to establish the run to pass, and the Chiefs have one of the worst run games in the league. I don't know what happened to Pacheco, but he's not good anymore.
yeah, but
And you guys are counting out the Chargers. I'm not
Do you
that
trust
big on.
Justin Herbert.
I trust Justin Herbert in the regular season.
so I agree. I didn't think about the Chargers, especially now
They're
with Mike
an afterthought
McDonald.
still.
With Mike McDonald, he may not be a good head coach, but his offenses always be good. So I expect the Chargers to be better.
Especially with the tackles coming back.
And the Chargers have had good seasons before. You know what I mean? So I'm not like them winning that division is not far fetched.
Yeah, but when was the last
So-
time
so
they won
that-
the division with LT?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say it's not but I'm not gonna say it's so. You say it's a 2-man race. I say it's a 3-man race.
I don't think they'll win the division, but I have them in second place.
I think it's possible they could win.
Yes.
Over who? The Chiefs?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the same thing. So to me, if the Chiefs, because I feel that the Chiefs can win it, that's why I have it a 3-man race. You know what I mean? So to me, all those 3 teams. If I woke up the next day and okay, like none of it would shock me.
What week did Mahomes get hurt?
Like 9 or 10, I believe.
No, it wasn't that late.
He's slated to come back.
I think it was like 13.
He's slated to
Around
come back
that-
before the
around
season,
that-
but he's slated to come back before the season starts.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's not like he's
So that's a
slated,
different story.
Yeah, he's not slated to come
So
back
He's gonna play the full season.
full season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if I can put the Chargers over the Chiefs then if he is gonna come back and actually play the full season.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can count him out.
And of course, we got the Raiders in last place.
Yes.
I mean that's where they're gonna
Yeah.
remain.
Yes, they're gonna start off with a rookie quarterback. They'll probably look like the Titans
they're
look this
gonna
year.
they got a top draft pick, so they may get a decent quarterback.
Yeah, no, but he's gonna be a rookie quarterback.
Oh, you said rookie.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then their coach is improving. It's not like we'd have to see like how it looks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
And also, me personally, I'm not too big on Mendoza. We'll see, but I personally think they're not going to do it, but I personally think the Raiders should do something like sign Willis, trade back for more assets.
No, the fan base would crucify them.
Also, you got to remember Tom Brady's at the.
Yeah.
He's over there helping make decisions.
Yeah.
So I
They're-
don't think
they're-
he's
they're-
gonna do something like that.
they're
Yeah, I
going
know
to-
they won't do it, but
they're gonna get a quarterback.
if I'm GM, that's what I would do.
I think Mendoza
But-
had a few practices with Brady too, so they're already like.
Yeah, they're locked in.
He's working on that TB12. TB12 regiment.
Moving on, we got the AFC South, and I have the Texans winning it by a tiebreaker in Week 18.
With Jacksonville.
Yes.
I like Jacksonville.
So I'm going with Jacksonville
I like
as well, because
They'll get Travis Hunter back.
they're gonna get Travis Hunter back. They're just, to me, their formula that they had this year, I could see it happening. Like, because all they were just a quarterback away from just being at least 30. So I feel like Lawrence has taken a little step forward.
Yep.
I could see CJ taking an even more step backwards.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I
I'll
mean?
say the
Because
playoffs-
I feel like his confidence was really
That's what I was gonna say.
shaken.
This playoffs is definitely shaking his confidence.
You know,
a lot,
you know what I'm
a
saying?
lot. There's
Because
so much like turmoil. in
C-
conference
CJ
around him
went,
right
CJ's
now.
going through a cleansing. He cut off his locks.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
He did?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
So
So
you knew me.
you
One thing I will say to take some pressure off CJ, I have no idea if he's still good, but Joe Mixon will be coming back, so that'll be interesting to see whether or not he's still Joe Mixon.
I think the saving grace for the Texans, besides their defense, is D'Amico Ryans. He's one hell of a coach.
Great coach.
And
Agreed.
again, that defense kept them in a lot of games, won them some games. So if CJ cannot turn the ball over 5 times in a game, they will be okay. You know, I think that
And
division is going to be tough, but I think, again, we're speaking as everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
That defense is so legit that defense alone could win the division for them.
And another guy coming back
Nico.
is Tank Dell, Nico Collins. If he plays more games than he did this year, because he was injured a lot this year, and C.J. Stroud missed a few games, but Davis Mill held it down, so that's not really a factor.
No. Davis Mills didn't hold it down. That defense made sure everything was okay.
Davis Mills was 3-0 as a starter last year. Shout out to Davis Mills.
Yeah. Another team I think is going to be interesting in that division is the Colts. It'll be interesting to see how Daniel Jones bounces back if he signs back with them.
He looked real good at the start of the season. He did, but I don't know.
Jonathan Taylor was going off too, so
Yeah.
I think that helped him. But
For sure.
then,
And then the Steelers game really shook his confidence, I believe.
he just went back to reality.
So that team to me is just last year's Cinderella story. I think the clock struck 12 already
On the Colts?
on the Colts.
Yeah.
And next year they'll be back to sweeping the floors and doing Cinderella type stuff.
What do they do with Anthony Richardson?
Seriously,
So he could actually start somewhere,
where?
Just not in Indianapolis?
just not in Indianapolis.
You tell me a team right now you would start him on.
Texans. No, Titans.
Jets.
Titans.
What are they gonna do?
No, the Titans have a quarterback.
Yeah, Cam Ward. They put all. They're
No, so-
all
But
in.
you're saying
So
where
I'm
could he
actually-
start? Not where he's going to, but he could.
We'll get there, but I actually like Cam Ward. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's bad.
Yeah.
I don't think he's bad at all. I think that team is just really undermanned as far as pieces.
Well, I mean, if we're
'Cause- and
talking about undermanned,
you take-
who has Richardson had?
No, again,
That's true.
I like Richardson. I think the question was, can he go somewhere and be a starter? You put him right now on the Jets, they're better than they were yesterday. You know what I'm saying? You put him
Honest-
right now on the Raiders, they're better than they were yesterday.
Oh yeah,
A game
Gino
or
gave
two?
the ball away.
No, I'm not saying again, but are they better? Is the question. I'm not talking about playoffs. I'm saying Okay.
Speaking of Richardson, I've been out on him for 2 years. He has had good receivers: Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, Jonathan Taylor. He still had, and a solid O line. So I do think Anthony Richardson had a good team around him, but his accuracy is amongst the likes of Joe Milton, so horrible, and and I think he's very injury prone. I just don't. I think he's a bad quarterback.
I mean, the weapons you named. I mean, that's not saying much.
It's the same Daniel Jones had, but adding Tyler Warren.
Yeah, but also Jonathan Taylor went crazy. He was at one point like a front runner for MVP. How well he was playing.
He was.
Moving on, we got the NFC East, and it's gonna be the Eagles again.
Yeah. You know what? Just for the sake of health wise again, and with the new coach, the Giants can make some noise because you bring back Scatterbo. Malik Neighbors is going to be back. They have a good defense. Honestly, this year, they were in a lot of games that were one-score games that they could have won. I think now with another voice there in the locker room, and if they're healthy, there's a chance they could surprise some people.
I like Jackson Dart.
I do like the Giants this year, and I was very high on them up until they hired Matt Nagy as their offensive coordinator.
What do we think about Jaden Daniels? Does he come back and make Washington relevant again?
I don't think it's entirely on him because the offensive line is still bad.
But I mean, look at what he did his rookie season. They went to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
So,
And the run game is bad. I don't know who's going to be the starter over there. They're probably going to draft a running back. Bill had a few flashy games, or flashy plays, I should say. He's not a good long-term option. The defense is going to lose a lot of guys. Bobby Wagner's probably not coming back. He's probably going to call it quits.
Yeah.
The secondary is really bad. Yeah.
So the NFC East is kind of the smart bet would be to go with the Eagles. I really like the Giants as well. I think they're gonna be like the Patriots of this year as far as like a turnaround. Just because their schedule's pretty easy as well. They have the talent. They have better coaching. Their defense is always good. I feel like Harbaugh will maximize. Like I said, I don't think he does. Like I said, he will maximize that. So I do like the Giants. I'm not discrediting what Jaden Daniels fully healthy come back should be. You know what I'm saying? They could have a turnaround. You know what I'm saying? And you can't forget about Dallas. Dallas would come.
How about
I was about
them
to ask. So is Dallas the
and
bottom?
make those pieces. So to me, that's going to be a really, as it is every year, a really competitive division. Any of those teams out of those four guys, or out of those four teams, any of them can win the division. To be honest,
Question: is AJ Brown staying on the Eagles?
that's a question mark.
I mean, I think he's under contract, but obviously he's not happy. So Philly's probably best interest would be to.
They're gonna ship
trade
him. I think they're gonna ship him just because. At this point, it's just a tainted relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, we don't know what's gonna happen with George Pickens. Will Jerry pay him? Will Jerry?
No,
play
they
that
already
game?
they already said they're gonna franchise him,
Oh, they okay.
Yeah, but is he happy about that?
but they could franchise him and still trade him, because I saw.
I mean, they
I
traded
read
Micah
somewhere
Parsons, so
that
anything's
I
possible.
read somewhere that they would do it for a second round pick,
A second round pick?
second rounder.
That's crazy.
Vrabel. Go. Pick up the phone.
I mean, I would do it in a heartbeat.
For sure.
Speaking on Harbaugh, I think there's with him joining the Giants and the Giants blowing a lot of leads last year, I think it's entirely a possibility that every single loss the Giants have is a blown lead.
You said it is.
This year?
Yes.
You saw this coming year?
Yes.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna jump the gun and say that.
So you don't think Harbaugh's a good coach?
Yeah,
I think he's a good coach, but I think in terms of holding a lead, he's like Kyle Shanahan.
So I'm not gonna say that all the way. I think personnel matters. So I'll wait to see how that plays out. If he does it, then yeah, I'll come back. We'll talk about this later. I'll be like, yeah, you were right. But as of
Dart,
right now, no.
I think Dart is a good quarterback. Not the highest on him. I do think he needs to stay healthy and slide when he scrambles. But I think the way that division will go is the Eagles, then the Giants, then the Cowboys, then the Commanders, who still need to figure some things out.
Agreed.
I think we're disrespecting the Cowboys.
You guys them third.
I think the Giants still need to prove themselves.
And
But
the
you
Cowboys
have them
don't?
you have them over the Giants.
The Cowboys' defense needs to prove itself.
But the Cowboys, if they keep George Pickens, I feel like another year they'll be better. Offensively, they still. Dak had his best year this past year. One of his best years. He was in the MVP race. Don't get that.
No, he wasn't. In the
Well,
race.
He was.
His numbers might have made you think that, but
no, but they had mentioned it. It was early.
In week 8.
Yeah,
7.
it was,
I would have had
it
him
was in
there.
the early part of the season.
I would have had him there over Lawrence.
You know what I mean?
Trevor?
He was.
Nah, what
he was.
Trevor did.
He,
Come on.
he was in there.
I'm big on Trevor last year, but that really only came in. His case really only came in through like week 8, and Dak has been more valuable than him all year because if he has a bad game, the Cowboys will lose.
I mean, what was their record this year?
The Cowboys 7 and 9.
So my point is, if that's what you're standing on,
Yeah.
you know,
Moving on, we got the NFC North, and this is where I have the Packers winning the division, and I'm incredibly high on the Packers this coming year. I think if they're fully healthy and if they can, if Matthew Golden can take a step forward, he didn't do much last year, but I think the Packers can honestly get the 1 seed in that conference, and Jordan Love is my MVP pick.
so we're talking, you know, if everybody's healthy, I think Detroit bounces back.
I was about to say that. Like, my thing is, Detroit started the season off great last year, like great, and then
they lost to 9.
yeah,
Also, I think some of these head coaches, including my guy Sean McVay, this analytics stuff needs to go out the window. Take your points when needed. Stop going for it on 4th downs and because the game is won and lost by the points. So, like, you know, Detroit went for it on 4th down far too many times. That ended up being a detriment to them. And when when you go for it and you get it, it's like, yay, everybody's happy. But it's like, you doing it far too often. Just take the points, take the 3, and then go from there. But I think Detroit will bounce back.
I think Detroit will be good this year. They do have to worry about their secondary because I don't know what's going on with Kirby Joseph. I hope he's okay because he's been dealing with some mental health stuff, and he also got injured. Pretty much the whole secondary was injured this year. I think Hutch takes another step forward. He was great last year, but he might get to that point where he was the season he got hurt. And now we're talking about the Lions. In terms of the Bears, I don't think they'll be as good as they were last year. I think that some of that success wasn't really sustainable with them leading the league in picks. But I think Caleb will take another step forward, finally be the Bears' first 4,000-yard passer.
I don't know. I'm not sold on Chicago. I think they had a miracle of a run. Even the play to get them into overtime against the Rams was like a load of BS in my opinion. I think Caleb needs to take a step forward. I think he needs to put together a complete game and not just some late game heroics that everybody wants to big him up for.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Caleb. He's kind of just a flashy quarterback, but he a lot of the times he can't make the routine plays, and he's kind of a. It feels weird to say this, but he's kind of a comeback merchant.
No, for sure. And honestly, those Hail Mary plays up there, like you said, they're not sustainable.
Yeah.
Like this year, they were the Cinderella story.
Yeah.
And I don't think. I mean, the saying, lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place. So I just don't think they're gonna have that magic again.
Right.
So I agree. I agree with Kalo, actually. I have the Packers winning that division. I don't agree with him about Jordan Love being the MVP. I didn't know if y'all heard that.
Yeah.
That was a wild statement.
I just disregarded that comment.
Okay, but that's another topic for another day. Detroit, if healthy, I like them, but I just feel like there's something still in the Detroit water that's just stopping success. I don't know what it is.
They haven't tasted it in so long. So
I just don't know what it is. I just trust what Green Bay's built more. I trust the coaching more. Don't get me wrong.
Dan Campbell's a great coach. He just
Dan
made some
Campbell is a
boneheaded
good coach.
fourth
He's
down
made
calls.
he's made some analytical mistakes as well. You know what I mean? He's a fourth down, go for it king. He loves that analytic stuff. You know what I mean? So I get all that, but again, I like the Packers, just as a as a unit, winning that division. I have Detroit second. You know what I mean? So on and so forth.
So nobody believes in Minnesota.
No, nobody. No, I think
I think this is 9's last year in
I
Minnesota.
think that he might be done. I think he'll play at the start of the game, at the start next year, and then he'll be replaced. Whoever the backup quarterback is, Minnesota's going to draft. Not draft. They're going to get one of these quarterbacks available, like a Mac Jones or Willis. I feel like, and then once you see that domino drop, that's 9's last game.
And it's entirely possible that their defense is worse because Flores could get a head coaching job somewhere. I don't know why he hasn't already.
Well, not this season. All the
He
coaching
actually-
vacancies are already filled.
He's actually re-signed. The reason he didn't go anywhere, because he would have, because he was one of the top candidates initially, but Minnesota locked him up right at the start of the coaching jobs, so he re-signed he's back in Minnesota as the defensive coordinator. So that's definitely something that's going to happen. But
Yeah, I think this is another year where Justin Jefferson is incredibly frustrated. J.J. McCarthy, I don't think he's going to have a good year, obviously.
9.
And even the running game isn't great because Aaron Jones, while he's still productive, he's getting up there in age, and he's just not as good as he once was. Moving on, we got the NFC West, and this is incredibly tough, incredibly
It's probably the most
competitive
division in the league.
That's the word I was looking for.
as of right now, yes, for sure.
I think
Cardinals are trash, but the other
Yeah.
three,
The other three, yeah.
they're legit. I mean, think about it. All 3 teams went to the Super Bowl in the past 5 years.
yeah.
You could
That's
also
true.
make a
That's
claim.
true.
You could also make a case for the NFC East, though. Just as
No,
far
no,
as
competitive on a different way.
yeah, just as far as like that's like the crab in a barrel. Like so, the NFC East it's like 8 crabs in a little barrel. Like and they just nobody's getting any further. You know what I mean? So I get what you mean though. So
Yeah, because if you think about it, Rams won the Super Bowl in 21. The 49ers went to the Super Bowl twice, lost to the Chiefs, and then Seattle just went and they won it.
I think
that division's gonna be tough.
it's tough, but I do think the Seahawks will win it again. And I do think the 49ers will be much better because, barring a miracle, which is them being healthy, they could come in and win it.
So, do we honestly believe that Sam Darnold is going to run it back?
So-
Like, he's that guy.
So I'm gonna
Maybe.
go with the 49ers to win the division.
If Purdy's healthy for the
If Purdy, just because they almost won it this year with everything that happened, with basically not their defense being there.
I mean,
Honestly,
that division, again, the winner of the division came to like a game or two.
Yeah.
Like the Rams, They fumbled against Seattle in the regular season. They were up by 16 with like 4 minutes left. End up losing that game, which was essentially the deciding factor of that division.
And I think another big thing with the Rams not winning the division last year was that early game against the Niners. Kyron fumbling at the goal line.
Oh, when he punched it out. But again, so back to the whole analytics thing, right? I remember that they went for it on 4th down in overtime, and they ran it with Kyron. Again, you know San Fran's defense, especially the front seven is legit. You have Puka on one side, you have Adams on the other side, and you can also take the points. So, again, that's the whole coaching thing I was mentioning. But I think, unbiasedly, the Rams obviously have a shot because that offense is legit.
Yeah.
The secondary needs a little assistance, but aside from the secondary, the defense, front seven is legit, the offense is legit. So it could be a coin flip, but you know me, I can't go against them. So the Rams, I got them winning that division.
Yeah, so I mean, we've already that division is a toss up to me. So you know, we've already had 3 different opinions. Did you say?
Honestly, I can't call it.
Yeah.
That's the
Toughest one,
Yeah.
toughest, like you said, the most competitive division. That's like
Because I think it's based off those moves that those guys make in the off season
for sure.
and health. You know what I mean? So again, you know, Mo made a good point. Like if the Madden no injuries is off, then
Who you picking?
Yeah.
who you picking? You know what I mean?
You spoke on the health of Brock Purdy, but I think that's just tapping the. I think that's just forgot the phrase
Just the surface.
yeah just tapping the surface of what the things they need to go right. McCaffrey needs to be healthy another year. Ayuk, they need to get whatever they can from him. Fred Warner needs to be back and healthy. Nick Bosa, their secondary, and they especially need those guys back because Salah's not going to be back, and they need to figure out what they're doing at defensive coordinator. But
I mean, to be honest, too, just to throw a wrench in there, San Fran could also take a step back. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not sold on Purdy. Christian McCaffrey is going to have another year carrying that load again,
if he's healthy,
right? So, again, we all know these 3 teams have represented the NFC in the Super Bowl the past few years and whatnot, so anything's possible. But I think San Fran could take a step back because a lot of wear and tear on Christian McCaffrey. And I personally, I don't think Brock Purdy's I don't think he's like that.
He's not like that, but in that system, he's built for that. He's proven more than, you know, it's not like he just did it 1 year. Like, oh yeah, he was like, he's multiple years that their offense is moving. Well, he constantly has multiple touchdown games. Like, you know, like he's.
But is it him? Because Mac Jones did the same thing.
It's a system, but he fits that system.
Yeah.
He fits that system. So I don't want him I don't want him as my quarterback. You know, because I don't run a Kyle Shanahan system. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Kyle Shanahan that has all these little whatever. It's just it works for that. You know what I mean? But Mac Jones did it too.
That's what I'm saying.
So
plug and play.
I know. So that's how I know. That's how I know it's the system. You know what I mean? So I'm not really concerned about that. So it is what it is. But yeah.
Speaking on the Cardinals, who will be comfortably in last place in that division.
Yes.
I didn't want to ask you guys what you guys think they're gonna do at quarterback next year, because I don't think Kyler Murray will be starting next year.
They said they're shopping him. They're shopping Murray right now, trying to figure out the next move. So once you do that, you're rebuilding.
Yes, absolutely.
Unless if they can get like a Mac Jones or something, because they got weapons over there.
They do.
They got weapons.
I don't think they're ready to rebuild. I think they have the weapons. I think they'll bring in a bridge quarterback, try to draft one as well, or try to get somebody in free agency that is available that they think they can win with.
Honestly, currently they're not at a spot where they can draft a quarterback, especially with the weak class. So I do think the guy that they will get is Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Try to, yeah.
And I can see him working in that system.
But they'll still be last in the division.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that division too. Yeah, I mean, they're just in a tough place because that's a really tough division.
Really tough.
You know what I'm saying? So, but they could have an easy schedule. So
Moving on, last and probably least, we got the NFC South.
I think this is the worst division in the league, to be honest with you.
It's funny
Without a
because
doubt, I believe.
they're the worst, but also competitive. Because 3 teams finished with 8 and 9 records,
Yeah.
and 1 got in. You know,
So-
I like Atlanta.
so I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think the Panthers are going to take a step forward.
Actually,
I
changed my
like
pick.
I like Bryce Young. Unlike a lot, I know that's an unpopular statement. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Actually, I think the defense is legit. I think Rico Dow is legit. I think they're gonna have. I think they'll have a better. I think they've won the season they had showed them that they could be in these games with these good teams, and I think that's a step forward.
Yeah,
The Panthers, the Bucks, and the Falcons, all 8 and 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, we're doing the whole Madden thing. If everybody's healthy, I'm going with Tampa.
and you spoke on
Mike Evans was not there for a majority of it.
He wasn't there for the majority of it. That's true.
I don't think that makes a
you
difference.
spoke on the Panthers being able to stay up
Look at what
with
they did
those.
last year when he was there. They made it to the playoffs.
That's true.
I think they have a Baker problem.
You s- you spoke on the Panthers being up in there with those close teams. I think they're gonna definitely have to do that this year because with that winning the division schedule is gonna be really tough.
Yeah.
And to address that Baker statement, I think that's ridiculous. A few months ago, we wouldn't even have thought of having that conversation because he was because it was front runner for MVP
For 3 weeks. No, actually 6 weeks. My bad. As soon as he came out to buy, he fell down the toilet. My guy.
They had a tough
I've
schedule.
just never.
They lost to the Bills. They lost to the Rams, and I forgot. Like they had a 3-week stretch.
No,
where
they
it was just
played.
organized.
They came out and played us.
Lost to the Bills in a game
Okay.
where Baker went ballistic. By the way,
Okay. Again, I've seen Baker. Baker's one of those quarterbacks.
Shake and bake.
He has these games where you're like, wow, he that was really good, but then he'll also throw the game away. In the same breath, I've seen it happen.
True.
You know what I mean? He gets a little overly excited and does something just. Sometimes the game could be. Sometimes they could be winning by a lot, and then Baker pulls the game closer for the defense. I just don't. I'm just not a Baker fan per se.
So is he just a young, athletic version of Brett Favre?
I don't even put them in the same category. Brett Favre is way better. Brett Favre actually won a Super Bowl. Baker will never.
well, I'm not saying he will, but you
He
can't
won't.
say that.
He won't.
I
Justin
I
Fields
can-
could win a Super
I
Bowl.
don't disagree.
What,
Yeah, as a
what
backup.
does Charles
You don't
Barkley
know.
say?
Yes.
As a backup.
What does Charles Barkley say? Guarantee. I guarantee. Because it's not going to happen on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And where else he's going and he's going to start?
No, he's not gonna win a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback, in my opinion.
I'm just being honest. I'm just looking at the landscape. Well, like, how's that happening?
But I think Tampa wins that division healthy. I do.
Well, I do like Tampa. I hope they don't win the division, purely because, and my dad's heard me talk about this a lot. Todd Bowles needs to go. I think he's the mastermind behind the Bucks, needing Week 18 to win the division for the past 3 years, after starting off hot. Who I think is going to win the division though? I think the Saints will be in the race. I think will be a tight race throughout all 4 teams. But I do think the Panthers, yeah, I do think the Panthers are going to win it again. And to speak on the Falcons, I think they're a great team throughout, but I think they're a quarterback away. And maybe a coach away, because I'm not a fan of Stefanski either.
I don't think they should have got rid of Raheem Morris. They finished out the year strong. Should have gave him another year.
Yeah, I don't believe in don't believe in the Saints. I don't know where that comment came from. The Falcons agreed as far as them needing a quarterback. I think I like the Panthers. They're a young, hungry team. What Bryce Young is doing right now, he's putting in work. So I think the Panthers are going to win that division.
So healthy, you think they're better than Tampa?
Yeah, because what I think Tampa is going to take a step back because I
Mike Evans healthy?
for
Yeah,
Colo-
actually,
for
let me
so
not say
so
that.
I, so so
That's tough.
I'm gonna say there was a couple
It's between
games
those two.
there was games Tampa was winning games in the beginning of the season. When did Mike Evans get hurt?
Early.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
5, 6,
he got hurt
like-
early.
Yeah.
That was the Baker for MVP stretch, and then he got hurt.
Okay.
and
But then he came back. There was like the last few weeks of the season they had all their weapons. They dropped all those games for the most part, bro. Like I'm just not sold. When you think about Tampa, a lot of times you thought about their defense. They were getting gashed by everybody in the league at the end of the year.
Yeah,
Everybody.
their defense is
Like it just I'm just not. I just think some things I'm just not so. I seen it. I watched the games. I'm not sold on Tampa. I'm more confident in what I saw from Carolina than Tampa.
Yeah, I do think their defense, which BT Dubs, manned by quote unquote defensive mastermind Todd Bowles, I do think their defense is very overrated.
yeah,
so-
Mike Evans got hurt week 7, broken collarbone.
And another thing
So that was post the bye week, right? Because they have their bye week 6.
I'm not sure, but that was during the they lost 24-9 to the Lions.
Maybe it was right before the bye week. Maybe.
Another thing that the Bucks should need to do better on is not necessarily the Bucks, but I think Emike Egbuka needs to come back. I don't know what happened after week 5 or so. I do think he needs to bounce back. But moving on,
Yeah.
I wanted to cover the NBA and just like who's coming out of the East and West, the seedings, and what do you guys think?
So I mean, it depends who plays. A lot of these guys,
Matchups.
I don't think they're going to end up playing. Like I don't. Is Jokic playing? Like
No, he's back.
no, is he playing an All-Star game?
Oh, we're talking All-Star game?
Yeah. Because that's what he's talking about, right? That's what
No,
he brought up.
I was talking about
Oh,
like-
my fault. What were you talking about? Just the actual league?
yeah.
Who y'all coming out number 1?
As far as the East.
East and West. Who's
So
number
so
1?
the East right now, as far as who's coming out the East, it is.
'Cause right now it's Detroit.
I don't know.
No,
think
so
they're
Detroit's number 1, but I don't have them coming out. So
I
if
think they're
you
gonna-
ask me right now who's coming out the East,
I think they're gonna hold
based
that one
off
spot.
based off just personnel, and I mean this is Jason Tatum not coming back, right? Because if you ask me because it's twofold. So if you're talking about the East, if you ask me if Jason Tatum comes back with like a month left in the
I
season,
don't want him to.
no, but let's say he does, whether you want it to or not. Let's say it does. I would have the Celtics coming out. If he doesn't come out, I have the Celtics coming out.
Number 1.
No, not number one. I'm
I
talking
think-
about coming out the East. He's talking about
He's
yeah,
talking about representing the
representing
East
the.
Finals.
East in the
That's what he
finals.
means. Because number one,
Oh,
because if you
really?
ask me, number 1 right now is going to be Detroit.
Yeah,
Because
Detroit's gonna hold it.
because they're gonna hold that pace. You know what I'm saying? So that's answered. But to me, I'm going by the question. The question would be who's coming out the East. So I'm gonna go. So, but if you're asking me without that, let's say there's no Tatum back, no Tatum
back.
factor. You know
Playoff run.
what I'm saying?
You got the Celtics.
No Tatum back? No Tatum back. I have the Knicks.
Okay, because I have the Knicks.
I have the Knicks.
I hate to say it because I hate the New York Knicks.
I have the Knicks
No,
because
I'm not gonna lie. I passionately hate every single New York team, but the Knicks right now, and mind you, this is a low key trade people don't even talk about, right? But Jose Alvarado going over there,
Yeah.
he's one of those annoying players
yeah.
defensively
Yeah.
that is there. Like I
It's a
hate to
pest.
say it, the Knicks are. I see the Knicks representing the East.
So, you guys are not sold on Cleveland.
Get out of here.
So I'm not sold on Cleveland because they match
Get
up.
outta
They
here.
match up 2 playoff losers.
Well,
Donovan McNabb. Donovan Mitchell,
playoff loser.
playoff loser. And James Harden,
A
playoff,
bigger loser.
bigger
Alright,
playoff
so-
loser. So those two combinations to me have me. Don't get me wrong. I like Cleveland. I like what they're doing right now. They look good. But I remember when we talked about this. I said Cleveland's gonna look good for the first month of this. As soon as they get together, you're gonna be like, oh man, this team's nice.
No, but-
Great season team.
So here's the thing, right? This is the thing, right? Again, this is just based off of paper, right? They added James Harden and didn't lose anything this year. I say that because Garland wasn't even playing. Garland was injured. So you're adding something. You didn't really lose anything, right? Now, I get the whole playoff aura of James Harden not showing up, this, that, and the third, and Donovan Mitchell being a proverbial playoff loser.
Proverbial.
But with that being said, we've seen Cleveland like handle business against New York, right? This East right now, we're talking about this season's East. It's wide open.
So we talked about this last time, right? Last year, Cleveland were they not like the top or second seed
They're one seed and they got their backs blown out by the Pacers.
by the Pacers? Donovan Mitchell had one great game that series, and then what happened?
So this is my point that I'm trying to make. The East is not what it was last year. It's open. And you hate the Knicks, cool. But matchup-wise, the Knicks won't match up well against them. Karl Anthony Towns will not really have... He's going to be a no-show in that series because they got two legit bigs over there. That's going to cancel him out.
Two physical bigs, and Cat's not a guy
Cat's-
that plays physical.
He doesn't play physical.
You know what I mean? And so now you have... They don't have anything to throw at Brunson right now. Now that they got rid of
Okay.
Garland. Garland was their defender. Now that they don't have
okay,
that. But
okay.
you actually have to really look at this. You have James Harden, the facilitator, and then you have actually correction. I stand corrected. They actually picked up Dennis Schroeder, so they do have somebody that they could. I'm not saying lock up, but you're talking about Alvarado being a pest. Schroeder is the same.
I hear you. So here's my thing, right? But don't sleep, because New York also has OG. You put OG on Donovan,
Then now James Harden's gonna cook.
Hopefully.
I'm just saying. Look at the season James Harden's having right now.
So again,
No, let's forget his playoff.
no,
woes.
but we're talking about who's coming out of the. We have to talk about playoffs. We're talking about who's coming out of the East. That's a playoff run.
All right.
And I think
Okay, so
But we've
historically,
seen the Knicks historically fumble in the playoffs as well.
agreed. But at this point, somebody has to come out of the East. So
who's their
so,
comp?
so let's again. I'm gonna reiterate it. In a wide open East, I take out. You know what I'm saying? So, to be the Celtics are a really nice story right now, but they don't have the pieces. I think in the playoffs they're gonna run out of horses. You know what I mean? Because you're relying too much on young talent. You know what I'm saying? When you do that in the playoffs, sometimes it doesn't translate to me. So that's why I'm a Celtics fan, but I'm being realistic. You know what I mean? I like Vooch. The Vucevic trade was really big, but I felt like you need Tatum to come back at least playing at 75%.
I'll be honest. I think they have a better chance of a run without Tatum than with Tatum, only because of the fact that
No.
you have to try to incorporate him in what's going on now. Think about it, right? Everybody, including Celtics fans, kind of was like, this year we're just gonna, we'll be somewhere, right? They're third. The way they're playing, now you insert Tatum.
and that's why
late. I think
That's
Yeah,
why-
but you inserted him like you're making it seem like I don't feel like it's gonna take for him that much to gel
And that-
in that system.
Not so
That's
much
why-
gel, but other people now are going to step back, defer, and.
But that's
he's
fine.
not-
Those
no,
guys
but-
are not great.
No, but hear me out. He's not there yet. He's not there yet.
JB's playing the best basketball.
No,
of
I'm
his
not taking.
career.
No, JB's not the one taking a step back. JB right now would be the Batman right now. It is what it is.
And that-
Okay.
I'm talking about as far as you're telling me that those other guys are not taking less shots.
But what I'm saying is that could
That-
be.
The Walshes and like
But what I'm
like
saying
the
is that-
Hugos?
the Hugos like
But
like
to that point, though, think about it. You have these guys who now have been given confidence. They've been playing at a certain level. Here, insert Tatum. We know he's great, but he has to get himself back into it. So now these guys, when it comes down to playoffs, when it's an 8-man rotation, you need certain players to do something. Tatum is not what he was yet. We don't know.
No.
And
We
that's
don't
why
know.
if
So I think him coming back takes away from the other guys that are flourishing right now, and it could pose a detriment because, all right, let me give you guys an example, right? The Lakers and the Magic when they played in the finals in 2010. You guys remember when Rafer Alston was starting over Jameer, playing well and everything? Jameer came back, they entered Jameer, and everything went down.
Yeah, everything went downhill.
They're different, right? We could talk about Jameer, and we're talking about Jason Tatum. I get that, but I'm just saying they were playing well, and then you just insert the guy back, and it just threw everything off.
And that's why if
But I
Tatum
feel like
comes
those two
back,
different plays because I feel like
Jameer's good.
Jameer was just playing better. Period. At the time, that's what it was.
You have to insert him back.
he was just was.
And
That year he just balling. That series balling. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No. But Rafer actually helped get them to the off in his absence. It was just because Rafer's not really looking to score. He's facilitating. He's doing those things. So now, fast forward to this scenario, you have the superstar coming back, and you have the 8, 9, 10, 11 guys coming in, getting minutes, getting confidence that are now like deferring.
I think that's why if Tatum comes back, it would have to be not in the playoffs. It has to be like with like 20 or 30 games left in the regular season,
Which is what I
so
said.
they can establish
Yeah.
establish
that's
like what the.
But I
team's gonna
understand
look
where you're
at.
coming from.
Yeah.
Though. I definitely understand where
Like-
you're coming from because, like, a lot of these guys right now, like this young core, like you said, like a Jordan Walsh, a Hugo, like their confidence right now is through the roof because no one expected us to be here.
Right.
Like I think our record right now is tied with the Knicks with no Tatum.
Yes.
But I'm gonna tell
You
you,
see what I'm
right,
saying? So like, I 100% agree with you because now with Tatum coming in, Tatum is taking 20, 25 shots a game. That's removing a lot of shots from those other people. So
Which is-
yes, but I feel like from a defensive standpoint, because Jordan Walsh when he first got here, it was for defense. You know what I'm saying? And then he got the confidence, start shooting, taking that trade ball, things like that. But I don't know. I feel like I honestly don't want to see Tatum come back this season because I feel like again, agreeing to your point, give him an off season to then, build with those guys. If we're able to keep a Vucevic, you know what I'm saying, and build something off of that. But
so the reason
Man.
I say this, I would normally agree because when I started season, I'm like, I got a season to watch. We'll just see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? This is before I seen this. But now I look at the East, and it's just wide open.
but it's been like that for a
so
while
to me,
now, though.
so to me, and I get it, Mo. I get the Clevelands of the world, and the Knicks of the world, and all that. You know what I mean? I just
Honestly,
don't respect them.
looking at this
I just don't.
looking at this East, I think there's playing teams that people don't really want to see like that. The Magic might end up being a playing
Don't
team.
sleep on the Hornets.
The Hornets too.
They're making noise.
So
the
I
Hornets
don't.
are making it, but they're entertainment too. Like you want to see the Hornets play. Like
Absolutely.
what LaMelo's doing right now, he's in his bag. like that's entertainment. You want to see them, and mind you, they will be one of those annoying teams you don't expect to get multiple wins in the playoffs. I can see them doing that.
I like the Hornets. They're my frisky team of the year. Me and Chloe
for sure.
talk about the team that's frisky, but I'm done with the Magic. Like I'm not.
They haven't taken that next step.
No,
Yeah.
like the Magic was supposed to be the 1 or 2 seed this year.
That's what I
You know
expected.
what I'm saying? That's what the expectations were. Pablo was supposed to
Especially
be.
with the addition of Bane.
Pablo was supposed to be the next level. He's taking a step backwards, like 2 steps back. You know what I mean? He could barely hit a shot. I be watching like he could barely hit
Honestly,
a shot.
this year watching Paulo
he has a
play,
case of the bricks.
he would be a great number 2.
Who?
Paulo, not the one to lead the like this year, he surprisingly did take a step back because last year watching him ball,
Yeah.
you thought like he's up next.
I watch the games, and you know how like the number 1 guy, like when the chips matter, like who, like you could see sometimes like it's the person it's not a set play for them, but you see like who wants the ball, who's the alpha. It's Baines now. It's not Pablo's team. I watch those games and I'm like, it's Baines' team, and he just got there, and that's embarrassing. You know
right
what I
now,
mean?
speaking on the Cavs, they'll at least get to the second round because they got the Raptors first round, and
Don't
they're
sleep
just
on the Raptors though.
they're just the story of this year.
You
Nah.
sleep on the Raptors? I'm not gonna lie.
Brandon
Snoring,
Ingram over there.
snoring.
Brandon Ingram? Nah.
Listen.
I like Scotty
They're
Barnes.
a
Scotty
they're
Barnes
they're a
is-
nice
all
they're
playing
they're
well. I'm
they're a
saying-
nice
I'm
story.
saying
I am
added-
snoring
added
on the
Ingram
Raptors.
They're a
over
nice
there.
yeah.
they're a
And
nice
then-
story. There's always a team that's in the mix. They have good.
No, they're definitely one of the in the mixed teams.
They're quietly knocking on what, fourth seed, fifth seed?
Yeah.
They're the
Quietly.
fifth seed right now.
Okay.
Exactly. So they get fourth seed, right? They got home court advantage in the first round. Yo, the six is different.
I'm not sold. I'm not
I'm not
sold
sold,
on
but
the Raptors.
Let's not put on our
Kawhi
pajamas.
Kawhi Leonard is not walking through that door. All right.
Moving on to the Western Conference, the Thunder have this comfortably, but they need to figure out. I think their biggest nightmare is seeing the Spurs at any point in the playoffs.
I agree, but I can't overlook Denver either because
Yeah, I think Denver is another team that's big this year.
I think it's a 3-team race. I think it's between Thunder, Spurs, and Denver to come out the West. And if I had to put my money on it in a 7-game series, I think everybody healthy. You know what? I'm going on a limb here. I got the Spurs because they have De'Aaron Fox, they have Cassell, they have Vassell. They got their perimeter defense, and then you got Wemby back there.
I'll say this.
I like the Spurs.
I'd
I
honestly, I'd argue this is a 6-team race in the West.
Nah,
What?
I'm sorry.
Name what's the six
What?
teams?
I mean, you can't count on
Name-
Minnesota because
name the
they
three other
went to the
teams.
conference finals 2 years in a row, but they didn't do anything to push the needle.
At all.
But playoffs are different. So who's the six teams you
Yeah,
got?
name the other three teams.
Yet, we mentioned Timberwolves. I like Houston this year also, as well as the Lakers.
Nah.
So,
Lakers, sorry. Pack them
So,
up.
Lakers pack them up. The Rockets, they're not what we expected them to be.
I also think that with the Rockets, in a 7-game series when everything slows down, load up on Durant, force Şengün and Thompson to beat you. They're not going to do
You
it.
don't think they
Pack
can?
up the Rockets.
Pack them
Pack up the Rockets because my expectations of them this year was really high. And
I mean, what are they, 4th seed?
yeah, but
What did you expect out of them, though? Because I knew they weren't going to be number 1 because of the Thunder.
so I expected them to be
3? Because I thought Denver was going to be number 2.
So-
Denver's 3. And
so
Spurs
so I expected them to at least to be 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's one more year for Houston because we still haven't seen Amen Thompson develop his shot. I think I hope
nice.
he will.
He has a great upside. And
Great.
he's a lockdown defender.
One of the best defenders in the league for sure. His handles are great, incredibly athletic. I think his upside is maybe like top 15.
But that being said, I think the Spurs are representing the West this year.
So I'm gonna say this.
Healthy.
As far as the
think I
representing
agree.
the West, I say 100% the Thunder is going to represent the West. I feel like the Spurs are there, but not yet. In a 7-game series, I do not see them beating the Thunder. I feel like that's going to go to Game 6, give it to the Thunder. Next year, then we can really start talking about that competition being there as far as them taking that mantle as being that next team to come out of the West. But this year, healthy, I'm giving it to the Thunder.
So if everybody's healthy, I'm gonna go with Denver.
That's not bad.
I think
Gordon's been out for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like Denver. I just think when Jokic was out, they showed me a lot.
Murray played out of
You know what I'm
his
saying?
mind.
He did.
They showed me
Yeah.
a lot. They like the new Golden State to me. And what I mean by that was I always was afraid of Golden State, even though even when they was missing pieces, they're not that team anymore. But I think just Denver's just a seasoned champion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you always got to worry about that.
And they kept their core together.
I think that OKC, they're still a really talented team, but I just don't see them two-peating. I just don't think I don't look at them like a two. I don't see that.
And
I used to look at them like this crazy dynasty that was never gonna end. Now I don't see the same. That's not my vision anymore.
As the season progressed,
yeah,
you
yeah,
started
yeah,
witnessing
yeah.
and
I don't see the same
The
anymore.
thing about the Spurs, right? I don't know if you realize, for a stretch, probably like 10 plus games or so, they had Wemby coming off the bench playing like 24 minutes or so, just for him to get back. So that's something that I think Boston needs to do with Tatum, right? But these other guys, like they're first of all, their perimeter defense is legit. That's why they gave the Thunder so much trouble. And Chet don't got nothing for Wemby.
And speaking on Wemby a few nights back, he had a scary night where he dropped
40 and 24 minutes.
Yeah,
and he
and a
wanted
half
to come back in, or 27 minutes or something like that. But with that, that's my point. I think because they have all these pieces, and I think it's the Spurs culture, because if you remember during the Big Three era, they had all these other guys who just did what they did and maximized their roles. The Matt Bonners, the Boris Diaws. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like you had these little pieces like Tiago Splitters and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then,
Their team was always deep.
yeah, you know what I mean? And then so I think we're seeing them in another position where they have an athletic wing, like from 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean? And then you have Wemby back there cleaning up any mistakes. Like the guy's 7'5".
You know, and I'm not gonna lie. Listen,
and he moves like KD.
Like no disrespect to the Spurs, like their guards over there are like, do not sleep on them.
Nah.
Castle, Vassell, Fox,
just a dog.
Like there are some dogs. Over there.
Yeah.
Like
Harper too.
I didn't mean to do Harper. Yeah,
Off the bench,
cannot
Champagne.
Cannot see it.
Off the bench,
Like I
he's
said,
like they're Danny Green.
I'm not disrespecting them. I just feel as if like in a 7-game series, I just don't see them coming out. I see them really being a really tough matchup, giving them some problems. But I just see the Thunder beating them in a 7-game series.
Is J-Dub coming back? What's up with him? He came back and got hurt again. Also, like,
So all he's throwing them is trade bait because they don't need him. Which a lot of those players, that team's so deep, they get a lot of those as a trade bait.
not only that, they have a lot of the guys that they have there are still under the rookie deal.
Yeah. So yeah.
So they could potentially build a dynasty.
Yeah.
If they can, start winning and stuff like that.
Way to go, Clippers.
I like Denver for sure. Because I Joker showed me one too many times that he's that dude. Never count him out. But this year I think it's time for some new blood, just like last year was new blood with the Thunder.
So man, who's the best big in the league right now?
Oh, it's still Joker. It's Jokic. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
no question. Like Wemby's nice and all, but Joker's averaging a triple
Double, yeah.
Like without Aaron Gordon, like it's Joker.
Making people like Braun shine. So yeah, I hear you.
Speaking on the play-in, who do you guys think's coming out of that?
I think Clippers. Kawhi's playing his best offensive basketball we've ever seen, and I think when he dials in defensively, if he's healthy, they can get into the playoffs. But that's as far as I'm gonna go with them because they don't have enough.
So right now, who's the 7th and 8th seeds in the West?
The Suns and Golden State.
Exactly. That's your 7-8. So I think Kawhi can get them
And
into the
mind
into the
you,
dance.
Right now, I believe
Who's
Devin
9 and
Booker is
10?
hurt.
Who's 9 and 10?
Portland and Clippers.
Essentially, we can eliminate. I don't think the Grizzlies are going to make a playoff push. They traded everybody. Ja hasn't been back.
Yeah.
Mavericks, I don't think they're going to make a push.
No.
We know the Jazz aren't. They're
No.
tanking.
They're taking.
And then
Blatantly. I don't know how they haven't been
Pelicans and the
investigated.
Kings. So I think the Clippers and the Trailblazers will be up. They will be playing teams, and I think the Clippers, because of Kawhi and who he is, can and will do enough to get them into the dance.
I can see that.
But that's
And I
as
think,
far as it's gonna go.
I think Golden State's going to end up the 8th seed and swept by OKC.
I'll give Steph a game. I think Steph can will them to a game. That's all I'm giving him though.
Possibilities.
Because that team is young and feisty, and Draymond got nothing for nobody over there.
Moving on to our last topic. Of course, we saw Chris Paul retire earlier today. Where do you guys think he ranks amongst the best point guards of all time?
Top 10. He's outside the top 5 though.
Top 10. I give him top 20.
20.
20.
Top 20.
You can name 10 point guards. I mean, 20. You could name 19 point guards better than Chris Paul.
Oh, top 15. If that's it. I'm not saying he's the top.
You
15.
can name 10 better than him.
10
I don't
point
think he
guards
can name
better?
10 better.
Yeah. all time.
You honestly don't think you can name 10 point guards better than him?
No.
No, give me 10, all time better than him.
10 right now.
Give me. I mean, you take your time, but give me 10.
Pull your phone out.
Because it's tough. It's gonna be tough.
I think he might be 7 or 8.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
7
I
or 8,
thought about it.
really?
It's going to be tough to figure it out because if you think about all times, who you put? So you got Magic,
Obviously.
right? Steph,
No question.
right?
Stockton.
Stockton.
Obviously.
Who else?
Oh, you have to, Westbrook's ahead of him.
So,
What do you mean?
well, Russ? Yeah. If you're talking about
You have to.
you have to put Russ.
What has Chris Paul done?
What has Russ done?
MVP, triple doubles, 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
What has Chris Paul? What?
They,
League
they
of
also
Steals?
they also both went to the,
Like,
they both went
what?
to the finals once, and Chris had to go join Devin Booker to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
No, it's,
yeah.
if you're talking about careers, I'd much rather have Russ's. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No question.
no question. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, before my time with Oscar Robinson,
Yep, the big O.
yeah.
throw him up there.
Okay.
So where we at, 5 now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Isaiah Thomas.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll give you Zeke.
That's
6.
6. That's why I said he's like 7 or 8, because
Yeah.
I'm
Who else?
waiting. I'm waiting till he tells me somebody.
my thing is you
I'm looking at
can.
this list right
There's
now.
little arguments for Steve Nash.
I just saw Steve Nash and Jason Kidd.
No.
No.
Neither. Better than Chris Paul as
No.
far as like all time? No.
I mean, you can make a serious case for Jason Kidd. 2-time champion, assist leader.
So let's
I
put-
don't
let's-
think he's a better player than Chris Paul
So
either.
let's I'll give you Jason Kidd. But that's it.
So okay, here's my thing though.
So he's an 8.
Like-
No,
You want to? What you want to put Steve Nash? Because he won 2 MVPs. Is that what you want to
Because
do?
because honestly, he robbed Kobe one of those MVPs. So chill. I'm not gonna.
I'd say both.
I'm not gonna lie. I just
Top 10, bro. Top 10.
I know you hate to admit it, but
So-
he's top 10 point guard of all time. Chris Paul.
Going into this, I was ready to say top 5, but looking at the point guards you guys have mentioned, I'd say he's around 7 or 8 for sure.
Yeah.
No way he's top 5. I gave you the top 5.
he's,
Yeah.
he's,
You know what I'm saying?
No
Like,
shot.
like those guys are like that. Like, but
You still looking, or you going to concede
well,
he's top
I see
10?
you still looking, but I'm telling you,
He's
I
top
mean,
10.
again.
It's
But
just hard to accept.
So you
So the reason why it's hard to accept for me, right? I just look at Chris Paul's career. Like, don't get me wrong. What he did for New Orleans over there,
What he
I
did for the
get it.
Clippers too.
Yeah.
Lob City,
Yeah.
yeah. But
So you're thinking more. You're thinking more recent Chris Paul. I know he's been
No,
lately.
I
recently he's been a journeyman. You know
no,
what I'm saying?
listen, no disrespect.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year, I remember that Chris
Yeah.
Paul.
Dunked on
Hooping.
Dwight Howard.
Listen, I remember that Chris Paul
Yeah.
doing his thing.
There was an era at one point he was 1 or 2
Him
in
and
the
Darren
league,
Williams.
in the league.
Him and Darren
You know what I'm
Williams.
saying? Like that's it. Like you know what I'm saying? And Darren Williams disappeared, then it was just CP3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, and looking back, there's
I just,
CP3 goes to the
I just
Lakers.
feel like he hasn't
Let's say the
done
Lakers
enough.
trade goes through, he's a champion.
there's a
then
at one
that's a
point-
different conversation.
Yeah.
That'd be a completely
No.
different conversation.
there's honestly a
We're
bunch of
We're not talking about accomplishments. We're talking about not necessarily accomplishments. We're saying, because if we're talking accomplishments, Steve Nash is better than him.
Yes.
You see what I'm
You
saying?
know, I'd hate to admit that, but yes, based off accomplishments and accolades, yes.
But based off of like body of work,
Nah, I'll give it to him.
top 10. Yeah.
Top 10.
there's honestly a bunch of ways Chris Paul's career could have
Bottom
gone
5.
differently because you also have the Rockets if he doesn't get hurt in that first playoff run.
Oh, Game 7.
Yeah.
But that you know what? That's been the story of his career.
I hate ifs.
Yeah.
No, but that's been the story of his career. He's never necessarily available in those times. He's gotten hurt in the big games and stuff like that.
But then again, you go back and look when he was on the Suns over there, when they went as far as they did, where was he at?
That's what I'm saying.
So I think that's why I have just that negative image of him. I just feel like when it came to big moments, he wasn't there. But yeah, as far as body of work, what he's done in his entire career, for sure,
Top 10.
top 10.
As,
Point guard.
as we're gonna wrap this things up, stay tuned next week for another episode.